So if you're like me and you open any social media, you're going to see all kinds of things like NFTs are dead. Is this the end of PFPs? Why I sold? And if you get on Twitter, it's not much better. You have people writing giant threads on why things will never return to 2021 all-time highs. So in this video, I'm going to cover the state of the NFT market and if there's a silver lining and maybe light at the end of the tunnel. By the way, I have no problems with any of the creators I just mentioned. Matter of fact, NFT Nate is one of my favorite NFT content creators. That video I mentioned, NFTs are dead, you should probably go check it out because it really dives into these statistics. I'll leave it at the top. So let's look a little bit into it in this video. This is the volume in NFT sales that we see across the market, and it has just been steady going down at a low of this really since January. So we kind of got a huge pump between February and now, and we're back at the levels that we saw like when the bear market was really bad, when it was at the all-time low. And worse than this, we see a lower and lower amount of new unique users and new wallets. Again, NFT Nate has an entire video on this, but it's just constantly going down. So these are the unique users, and we're again at a lower low than January in January. So it's looking pretty rough. And then, like I said, if you go to Twitter, you see things like NFTs will never go back to the peak of 2021. The culture is dead. So in this thread, I'm not going to go over everything. I personally think this was a weak argument. Basically, he recorded a Twitter space to where a lot of Bored Apes were making monkey noises, and I guess it was just like fun. And then he brought up some of the charts that we just looked at. He brought up a recent controversy of somebody doing things that they shouldn't have done. He brought up a very well-known whale in the Bored Ape community, Franklin. Essentially, the context of this is Franklin got scammed for not like an NFT-based scam. He invested in a company, and it was over crypto, but it wasn't the typical like, oh, I got drained. He basically just trusted somebody that ended up taking like 2,000 Ethereum from him, which was around $2 million, so that was a lot of money. He had to liquidate a lot of apes, and I think he's just taking a break from social media right now. He brought up the market. Right now, the Bored Apes are just down a lot because of that, and because some other whales liquidated, and then unique holders is going down. And he brought up a couple more stats. A lot of this that he's talking about, though, is unfortunate events, and it's typical bear things. We did have an OG comment on this that I really liked. She said that in 2018, folks said in 2021 culture, this is what people said in 2018, that the culture was dead, and that the culture evolves, and as it gets broader, you lose intimacy but gain accessibility. If innovative niche culture is something you miss, the tree of AI has thousands of branches and is early in the same type of cycle. I will not act like I was here in 2018, as Claire was referring, when people felt the exact same way before this happened. And also in this video, I just want to give a very hard, well, one, this is not financial advice, and two, I don't know, and other people don't know. NFTs and crypto is very risky assets. There's a lot of uncertainty right now around everything. I just made a video on Gary Gensler talking about whether Ethereum was a commodity or security in one of my last videos. And basically, he just tried to dance around the question. So there's a lot of uncertainty. And with NFTs specifically, there's a whole another set of risk, because you're not really just kind of betting on like the success of, like, say, something like Bitcoin that's very innovative, or the success of Ethereum that has dialed in smart contracts, or anything like that. You're betting on these very specific and sometimes smaller projects to succeed, and there's so many of them. So to say that they're not going to return to 2021 all-time highs, I don't know. There's so many of them, and I'm sure 98%, 99% probably never will. The way I look at NFTs, and again, this is just from my own perspective, something that makes sense to me, is where's the value at? Like, how much value does this NFT provide you, and how much value will it provide you in the future? One example I always give when talking to people in person about NFTs is I bought this Puma NFT like a year ago, and the Puma NFT was a Genesis NFT. I don't remember exactly the cost for me to mint. It was 0.2 Ethereum, but Ethereum was a lot cheaper, so I think it was really just like a couple hundred, maybe pushing $400. Well, one of the free NFTs they gave me was this Materializer NFT that if you burnt it, you'd actually get a physical pair of shoes. I am receiving these shoes probably this month or next month. I was able to pick between these or these, and there's less than 2,000 editions of each of these physical shoe. I can't tell you the value of that shoe right now because I don't know it, but I already feel like that's a couple $100 in value given back to me just for holding the Puma NFT, and we're just getting started. So for me, if at the end of the day Puma goes to zero, but I have these shoes, it's whatever. And you can say the same for like some NFTs that grant you access to certain communities or certain access to certain people. I was able to talk with the founder of Zynga. I've been able to meet really important people throughout the last few months and really last year for owning specific NFTs and being in certain circles. So that paying for that accessibility was worth it. Some of these events that they do all over the world. Some of these events would normally cost a couple $100 to get in. So at the very base of it, some of the NFTs have already provided value back to you. Backhouse has given a lot of airdrops, but not even just the airdrops, but they've done a couple of in real life events for those that are in the Backhouse community that watch my videos. So that being said, I think NFTs that are able to provide value and will continue in the space will always have some type of value. And it's kind of hard to say whether they're going to hit this certain high or they're going to hit these numbers, but it's kind of like, well, what are you expecting out of these and what is the value? So for even like the Bored Ape community, like obviously some of those all-time high prices were insane, but this is a very high class community of people that were either very early or people that were celebrities or people that were rich, and they've done a lot of huge concerts having Snoop Dogg and Eminem at them, and probably will continue to do so, and have built a lot of stuff and are currently trying to build a huge game that will onboard a lot of people. I say all that to say, what is your risk tolerance? I'm talking a little bit more in this video than I usually do, just kind of discussion based. But what is your risk tolerance and what do you want to get out of the NFT, and like where do you see that value? Like I know Reddit recently dropped their collectibles, their avatars. They have Gen 1, 2, and just dropped 3. To me personally, for collectors, those Gen 1 avatars are probably going to be valuable. I own 0 right now of the Gen 1. I do own a couple of the Gen 3 and then some of the free ones that they airdropped. So collectors pay premium a lot of times for valuable assets. Are we talking about gaming? I think there's a lot of value in gaming. Are we talking about land ownership to where you are the resource for the game? Are we talking about play to earn? What revenue are we talking about? Like you have to factor in all these things when trying to factor in the value of these NFTs and what people are willing to pay. So to say that they're not going to go back to all-time highs, I don't know. Are they going to be that valuable? Or to say that they're going to just continue with the momentum that they're continuing at and they're going to keep getting lower, I don't know. I think for me personally, again, let me reinstate this is not financial advice, is I'm going to find the ones that I feel like will provide the most value for me, find the entries that I want to find, and not care about timing the bottom or if there is a bottom. If I buy an NFT and I feel like it has provided value to me and it goes to 0, I do not care because I got that value already. Or if I am taking that risk of maybe this will provide value or maybe not, I'm the one that took that risk. Nobody is able to time the bottom. People will lie to you and say that this is the bottom. They'll say that X, Y, and Z. We don't know. This is a very new asset. I do think a significant amount of volume is centered around hype and attention. And right now, the attention seems to be in the direction of being bearish, of those Twitter threads, of those YouTube videos, which I have no problem with. That's the state of the market, and they're doing their job at content at covering the state of the market. Also, it's meme coin season right now. People have went from, I'll just pull this up right now, CoinGraph News just covered this. Somebody had a $251 investment, and the investor ended up with $1.14 million in the token Pepe. Pepe took off. I haven't looked at the market cap recently, but a ton of money, probably DGen money from NFTs, flowed into Pepe, went into Wojak, Chad, Cope, all these weird meme tokens, which is fine. People are, I guess, having fun trading meme coins right now. So that's a very obvious shift of money from the NFT market to these meme coins that could flow back into the NFT market, or people could gamble it away and it not flow back. So to me, there's a lot of obvious indicators that look bearish right now that just make sense. I'm not the best at technical analysis, but I can look around and see fundamentals and trust them, and that has worked time in and time out. So the decision is yours, whether you think NFTs are going to die, whether you think that they're going to make it, wherever you want to place your bet at is on you at the end of the day. I'm still confident in select projects, and I'm still confident in the overall NFT market and the future of NFT technology. Will some of the prices return? Probably not. Will some break previous all-time highs? I think probably so. The biggest thing is selecting. And honestly, a big fear of mine right now is with the United States regulation. If you don't know about that and just kind of some of the hearings that's happened recently, definitely go watch my video on Gary Gensler. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.